7. I heard the crowd, felt someone unwrap us, heard Sam moan, "I'm too young to die." Fred, Sam, and I spilled out of the squishy, soft wrapping. We were right in the middle of a small stage, and the entire crowd was staring at us, pointing, laughing, and clapping. "Presto, changeo, alakazam," boomed a voice behind us, and the minute I heard that voice, I knew who it was. "Uncle Joe, we're saved," said Sam. Uncle Joe looked at me, the crowd, then back at me. "Joe? You're not a rabbit." "No," I said. "At least I don't think I am." Uncle Joe looked over at Sam and Fred, and they're not doves. Sam and Fred shook their heads no. Uncle Joe looked in his top hat. "I can never get that trick to work quite right." Someone yelled, "On with the show!" "You've got to hide us, quick," I said. "The time police are chasing us." Uncle Joe twirled his mustache. Then he wrapped the three of us in squishy soft. "Ladies and gentlemen, believers and friends, for my final feat of prestidigitation, I will need your undivided attention. With your help, I will send these three wrapped lads into the warp of time and space, never to be seen again." Sam wiggled next to me. "Is he serious?" "No," I said. "He can't do that. He'll probably drop us through a trap door in the stage." "I'll need 3 volunteers," said Uncle Joe. Yes, you 3, young ladies in the back." I had a slight sinking feeling. I peeked through a hole in our squishy soft wrapping. "Oh, no," I said. "Guess who he picked?" "The killer girls," said Fred. "What do we do?" squeaked Sam. "Stay calm," I said. "Maybe Uncle Joe's trick will work, and they won't spot us. And maybe an elephant with wings will fly out of my nose," said Sam. "The human mind is a powerful instrument," boomed Uncle Joe. "Imagine how powerful a group of minds could be. With the help of these 3 young ladies, we will join minds and disintegrate this toilet paper." "I don't feel so good," whispered Sam. "Our first volunteer will chant Eenie. The second will chant Meenie. The third will chant Miney. Then everyone join in to chant Mo. As soon as we have merged our thoughts, I will flush the toilet paper into time and space." Someone in the crowd yelled, "Why don't you use a toilet transporter?" "I work my brain power alone," said Uncle Joe. Then he pointed to the first girl. "Eenie." He pointed to the second girl. "Meenie." The third girl, she said, "Miney." The crowd shouted, "Mo." "Eenie, meenie, miny, mo. Eenie, meenie, miny, mo. Eenie, meenie, miny, mo." Uncle Joe raised both arms. There was a flash of light, a crash, and a huge white puff of smoke. "Ladies and gentlemen, where there once were 3 boys, I give you—" A blast of wind from a passing bus pod blew the smoke away and revealed Fred, Sam, and me. The only thing that had disappeared was our squishy, soft disguise. One of the girls called, "There they are!" A metal voice behind us said, "Hey, buddy, what's your number?" Uncle Joe said, "Oops." Chapter 8. "Hey, buddy, what's your number?" said the cellbot. "This is getting monotonous," said Sam. But before we could even worry about getting out of this latest trap, the 3 girls took charge. The one with the baseball cap picked up the squishy soft roll and stuffed it over the cellbot. "Hey, buddy, what's your number?" said the muffled voice of the blinded cellbot. "Squishy soft is oh so smooth," said the roll. "Come on," said the girl who looked like my sister. "Follow us." Sam looked at Fred. Fred looked at me. I looked at Uncle Joe. Do we have any choice? We took off and followed the girls around buildings, over crowds of crazily colored people, past streamlined pods and more talking, blinking, singing 3D ads until I had no idea where we were. We finally stopped in front of a building too tall to believe. "Here's my house," said the lead girl. Fred, Sam, and I looked up and up and up at the building that disappeared in the clouds. The girl led us through a triangle door that opened at her voice. She put her hand over a blinking red handprint on the wall, and in 5 seconds we were all transported to a room that must have been 5 miles above New York City. The girls flopped down on cushions. "This is my room," said the girl, who looked like my sister. We stood nervously in one corner. "So you're not killer time cops?" I said. The 3 girls looked at me like I was crazy. "Of course not," said one. "Whatever gave you that idea?" said another. Then we all started asking questions. "Who are you guys? Why did you save us? How did you know we'd be at the museum? Do you have anything to eat?" The girls laughed. The one who led us there pushed a green dot on a small table. A bowl of something looked like dried green dog food appeared with a pile of liquid-filled plastic balls. "Here's some Vitagorb and Unicola," said the girl who looked like my sister. "Now let me try to explain things from the beginning." We copied the girls and sucked on the plastic ball things the same way they did. Fred ate a handful of the green dog food. "I'm Joni. This is Samantha. That's Frida. But everybody calls me Freddie," said the girl with the baseball hat. "And we have these names," Joni continued, "because we were named after our great-grandfathers, Joe, Sam, and Fred. Or, in other words, you," said Samantha. Everything suddenly made sense. That's why they looked so much like us. "Of course," said Uncle Joe, dusting off his top hat. Your great-grandkids have to make sure you get back to 1995. Otherwise, you won't have kids. Then your kids won't have kids. Then your kids' won't have us," said Samantha. "Your great-grandkids. And we knew you would be at the museum because you wrote us a note." Samantha handed me a yellowed sheet of paper that had been sealed in plastic. It was our museum worksheet from 1995. On the back was a note in my handwriting that said, "Girls, meet us under Teddy Roosevelt's statue at the Museum of Natural History, September 28th, 2095. Sincerely, Joe, Sam, and Fred." "How did you get our worksheet from 1995? asked Sam. "I got it from my mom," said Joni, "and she got it from her mom." "But we didn't write that," I said. "You will," said Samantha, "if we can get you back to 1995. "Saved by our own great-grandkids with a note we haven't even written yet," said Sam. "I told you something like this was going to happen. Now we're probably going to blow up." "Wow," said Fred, eating more Vitagorb. "Our own great-grandkids. So what team is that on your hat? I've never seen that logo." "That's the Yankees," said Freddie. "They changed it when Grandma was pitching." "Your grandma? Fred's daughter?" I said. "A pitcher for the Yankees?" "Not just a pitcher. She was a great pitcher," said Freddie. 2.79 lifetime ERA. 275 wins, 3 no-hitters, and the Cy Young Award in 37. "Forget your granny stats," said Sam. "We could be genius inventors back in 1995 if we could reconstruct these levitation devices." "What did he just say?" asked Freddie. "He wants to know how the anti-gravity discs work," said Samantha. "A truly amazing discovery. More surprising than Charles Goodyear's accidental discovery of vulcanized rubber. More revolutionary than Alexander Graham Bell's first telephone. But all I can tell you is that the anti-gravity power comes from the chemical BHT, and it was discovered in a breakfast accident." "What's a breakfast accident?" said Sam. "A head-on collision with a bowl of cornflakes? And who found out BHT could make things fly?" "You did," said Samantha. "That's why we can't tell you more. You know the time warp info speed limit posted in the book. Anyone traveling through time with too much information from another time blows up." Sam's eyes nearly bugged out of his head. "I knew it. Don't tell me another word." "Hey, wait a minute," I said. "Where did you say that info speed limit was?" Samantha looked at me like I was an insect. "In the book, of course. How do you know about the book?" "I got it for my birthday last year," said Joni. "And since then, we've been all over time," said Freddie. "We've met cave women and the pirate Calamity Jane. And don't forget about Cleopatra and the underground cities of Venus," said Samantha. But if you have the book, that means we're saved, said Sam. Samantha gave Sam her look. If you remember the Time Warper's tips, you know nothing can be in two places at once. Of course, our book disappeared as soon as your book appeared. So now we have to help you get the book back to the past, said Freddie, so we can have it in the future. Of course, said Sam. We knew that, said Fred. Right, I said, trying to talk any way out of this mess. We knew that would happen, but I looked around at Sam, Fred, Samantha, Freddie, and Joni. Then I spotted Uncle Joe. We thought we could really learn some tricks about finding the book from Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe looked up from something he was fiddling with in his lap. The book? Oh, I never could get it to work the way your mother did. That's why I gave it to you for your birthday. Oh, great, said Sam. We're doomed. But that's also why I put this together. Uncle Joe held up the thing he had been fiddling with in his lap. It was an old-fashioned pocket watch, my Time Warp watch. We're saved, yelled Sam. Chapter 9.